Hi there, welcome to Island Girl Creative Studio. I'm going to be doing a tutorial for you with the Basket of Joy, which is, tricky in the camera, it's backwards. So this is the Basket of Joy. It sits up by itself. It's pretty large for a stand-up, actually. It's kind of cool. It's very heavy. This is the top that comes off. You keep the basket and then you just keep putting different inserts into it for the different holidays or seasons or whatever it is that you celebrate. So I'm going to put this back up here so you can look at that and get going on the next insert, which is the pumpkins. I do have a subscription for this, so that way they just get mailed straight to you. Every couple of months you get a couple of sets and then you get to do them up as you wish, how you want to do them. They do come with the paints that I'm using, and then if you wanted to do something different, you're welcome to do that, but you can buy them individually also, and there's an option to order with or without paints with the individual ones. So I'm just going to show you, I'm using these makeup sponges, the thick part of it. My favorite thing to do is to lay it all out so that you can see where it's going to sit and where the colors are going to go, where everything's supposed to be. You will get a, oh, that's my phone, sorry about that. You will get a, there we go, do not disturb please. You will get a printout of what it could look like, so I'm using this one as inspiration right now. And then you can do as, you know, makes sense for your house, whatever matches your decor, or if you just want to do something crazy like the teal and the pink, which is the newest fad this year. Anyway, so I'm just getting started with painting the pumpkins, and I make a mess and I have things everywhere. But you'll see that it's layered up. It actually has several layers so that it will sit nicely, and all these little pieces that go with it. So you can change the color by just adding some brown, some yellow, and some greens. Like, you can mix all the colors up and make whatever palette that makes sense to you. My nose is a little stuffy and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it is what I'm going to do. So I'm getting the paint onto here quickly with this sponge brush. And if you notice, I'm dragging it and I'm kind of dry. Oh, I forgot. There's the camera here and there's a camera there. I'm dry brushing it, which just means that I'm not loading it up with a ton of paint and smooshing it everywhere. I'm kind of letting the paint soak into the sponge and then just dragging it over, because there are score lines on here. I don't know if it's easy to see this way. There's score lines. So the score lines, you don't want to push the paint into them. You want to drag the paint over them so that you continue to see those details, which makes it look really cute. So, and you're welcome to use paintbrushes. Like, you get paintbrushes, sponge brushes, the glue, and the project, and whatever makes sense to you to use. Like I say, this is the way I do things. I'm sure people are kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she does what she does. But I like to just do my own thing. I have my own way. If you like it too, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to have fun with the different colors. What's that? Oh, my printer is being weird over there. I can hear noises. I hear noises. I'm trying to use a different camera setup. I just got this little setup where we have two cameras and you can see me from two different directions. That way I can talk to you and you can see what I'm doing down here. Like I said, it's layered. So this pumpkin actually gets covered and this pumpkin gets covered. So it doesn't matter if you get color into those two areas, because I always use the same sponge. Then I make a mess. But you'll have multiple sponges so that you can make multiple different colors and not get them into each other. I'm liking this more muted palette, so I'm just gonna go with that and see what happens. It's kind of fun to mix it up and see the difference. You know, fall can be bright, fall can be greens and oranges, fall can be browns and purples. I mean, you name it. It can be whatever you want. I really like those pumpkins that are beige and almost white. I love those ones. Those are so freaking cute. I love them so much. When I see them at the pumpkin patch, I lose my mind. I'm like, yes. So I'm going to make a couple of those too for me. I have classic colors in my house for Halloween. I like just to do the fall look because I keep I keep fall up. Well, actually, I keep it up year round. It's funny. I actually have a cabinet full of pumpkin stuff that is, it's not Halloween, it's fall. And I just love it, so I keep it out. But as you see, so like that's a beige pumpkin. And I'm also going to do the one in the corner over here beige. But yeah, so mine is always out, and then when Halloween comes around, I just up it a little bit. Like I add pillows on the couch that have like more of a spookier feel to them. I do the, you know, the classic oranges and greens, and I do a lot of purple though, because I like that witchy vibe, which is kind of cute. Yeah, this is awesome. I love this. I'm loving it. I am loving it. Okay, so this one goes over here too. So let's do another of these really, oh, I have to green it. You know, you can do the stems different colors too. So like brown is a good one. That goes really well with the look, or you can make them green. It's just, you know, how long have they been picked kind of a thing, right? Because both are right. Green is what they start out as, and then they turn into a brown color. Now, you'll notice I did get some paint into the score line, so you can take the clean edge of the sponge and kind of dab it, and sometimes it'll come back out. So try that if you wish. And then keep setting them next to each other, because you really want to make sure that you've got a good mixture of things happening. So like, that one is supposed to be a little more yellow. Let me see. I can make this one a green one. Oh no, that was another beige one. Hold on a second. Hold on. Alright, I just did what I told you not to do. I made, I didn't place them in the right places to get all the colors. But that's alright. So I'm going to go a darker orange on this one. You could always paint over stuff. I wasn't paying attention. This new camera thing has got me a little bit goofed up. It's like a, I gotta pay attention to where I'm putting things. These are pine cones and these are leaves, so you can kind of do different things here. I'm thinking these are going to be mostly a green, like a sagey green maybe. Let's see here. Yeah, I like that. Got a little bit of sage going on there. And you can layer them up. You can put details on them. I talked about this in another video about Posca pens. You can use Posca pens. Those are good for these little pieces. These smaller ones are really good for the details. You want to use something small. I'm going for the overall look, which obviously a sponge brush is good, or a sponge makeup sponge is going to cover big spaces, not really small. But like I said, you can go in with a paintbrush, and you can do, there's a lot you can do. Like you can just, if you even just do shading, like I'm just dabbing some darker brown around the edges, and that's looking fabulous. I don't know how this camera's going to catch the details that I'm doing or not, because I'm just starting. It's a new setup for me. I even got a weird light over here because earlier my lights were too bright and my face was all shiny. I mean, it's still shiny, but it's not like, it was like blaring white. But as I get more and more comfortable with this, you'll see different things, because I want to do canvas paintings too on this. But it's a lot. It's new stuff I gotta learn. Ooh, I'm gonna do some yellow around the edge of this one. And you'll always get more paint than you need. Like, that's the thing with this, is that I would rather you have more that you need than less. So you're always going to get more. Your little paint buckets will always have more. It's always good. If the package is big enough, I'll send one of these plates. But if not, just get a little paper plate and get your paints out. You want to smear them around. They're harder to use inside of the bucket, so I would highly suggest getting them out. And I like this like menagerie of colors here. Just making, you can mix, these colors are so wonderful. They all work really good together. So if you notice, I've got some different colors on there. And then, oh, maybe I'll do orange again. The Pacific Northwest is where I live, and if you live here too, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but the colors aren't not as vibrant. Like, we don't have a whole lot of vibrancy in the trees in the fall. I'm originally from New York, where there is a ton of colors in the fall. Like, I'm talking ridiculous. Like, it's like, you know, when you see pictures of Vermont, that's what it is. And Vermont's right next door, so it makes sense that that would be what it looks like. But my gosh, I miss that color. This is the evergreen state that I live in, which it is very green. It's even green in the fall. It's green in the winter till it gets snowy. And yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, but it is green. It is green. So I'm going to smear a little bit more white on these beige pumpkins. The lighting that I have in here is kind of yellow, so I'm getting the vibe that this is not what I think it is. So I'm just going to, oh gosh, up, right up. I'm going to add some white pulls of paint on top of it, which actually is looking pretty freaking fabulous. So we're going to do that on the beige pumpkins for sure. And this is where I'm putting in some details. This is where the customization is going to come in. You get to decide what you want to do. If you just paint them one color, they're still going to look super cute. But if you put a little extra into them, you're going to elevate that look by 1,000,000%. I feel like I needed another green pumpkin. Ah, Farfignugan. So let's change it up. Now that I've got both the white ones over here. Oh boy, that's all right. I'm gonna get it. Can I turn this one green maybe? I'll turn that one green too. I always get, I always get the green pumpkins and then I turn them into Frankenstein heads, and then they turn, like, they eventually turn orange because that's, I think green pumpkins are just not ready or something maybe. I don't know if they're supposed to be green, but yeah, I love doing that. And, come back. Okay. Then I'm going to put a little bit of brown on this one. Like I said, just these little rustic details make them look so cute. I might put some on the green pumpkin too. And I'm just using a sponge. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but I keep using the same one and just making a mess on it. Like, I promise you, I don't even think about it. I just grab stuff and make it happen and kind of just go with it. I wasn't digging the brown on the very, very top of this, so I'm just going to cover it back with some green. And then I wasn't very careful with the orange one, so I have to redo that one too, because now I got green on the orange, which is fine. But I really wanted it to be an orange pumpkin, so. It's alright. This will happen to you too. It's always good to see the person who knows what they're doing making a mess of things so that you can see how to deal with it or to change it or to work with it, or you know, you get to see how it goes down. I'm gonna put some brown on this one too, not too much though. Yeah, there we go. And then I have to do the stems too. So you can either use the end of one of your paintbrushes. You can use the end of the paintbrush, or you can use the sponge brush on the skinnier side. That way you can get real close to things and not go over. I'm making them brown. I like the brown. Can you see that? Sorry about my nose. My gosh, I don't know what's going on. The weather's gotten weird today. It's all rainy and very fall weather, even though it's not technically fall yet. But my nose has decided it is dusty or something, or the rain has kicked up some pollen of some sort that I'm not happy about. Also, if you get paint on a piece that you didn't mean to get on, like a little bit of like overage, I just wipe it with my finger. I literally just wipe it off with my finger. Okay, so it's that easy. I know, again, I paint fairly quickly. And I always say if you guys want to paint slower, drink your tea. Actually, you have a glass of water here. I can drink some water. I haven't drank enough water today. But, okay. And all my little pumpkin pieces. It's always good for them to dry before you put stuff together. Where's that Posca pen? Oh, there it is. I knew it was here somewhere. Ha ha. Okay, so this is fun for doing details. So, okay, I said Posca, but this is actually Artistro. It could be fancy or it could be like Target, whatever. Say what you want. So I like to take this and do little tiny details on all sorts of things. So like, here's the pine cone. I wonder if this needs to get closer. All right, for now, this is what you get to see. But so just like white dots are just classic. Like you can't go wrong, and they look like little highlights on stuff, and they just really class it up. So I've got, let's see, and the center of these leaves have some veins. You can either put white or you can use a brown one and do brown on them too. But I'm going to use white because that's what I have. And I have a brown one. Actually, I have all the colors. I have like thousands of these things. But not right here, not at my hand. So we're just gonna create some drama with your pens. That's puts the light on them, and it just makes them look a little more jazzed up. And just be careful though, because sometimes these things can leak. I've had them leak on stuff. You don't want that to happen. That's not as much fun. I'm ready for fall. I want to do all the fall things. The pumpkin patches and going out, doing hikes, wearing their boots. What I don't like is that it gets dark earlier. That part I could definitely use less of. And it didn't happen, like I said, I'm from New York, and we were allowed to stay out until the lights came on the street. Well, that was definitely not at 11 o'clock, which happens out here quite often. So, I remember laying in bed and being like, it's 11 o'clock at night and it's still light out. Like, what in the heck? But it's just different out here than it is on the other side of the country. Alright, so all my little pieces are ready to go. The pumpkins should be dry, so I can glue all these things together. I'm going to glue them first, and then I'm going to continue to do details on top of them because I want to get the glue to dry as quick as possible too. So a tiny bit of glue, and you get, it's this way. So it's a gel glue. So basically what that means is it doesn't dry immediately. It gives you a moment to get that to sit right. So, oh gosh, I guess up. So they are meant to sit in a certain way. These are cut with my laser, and they are perfectly situated to have no overlap. So once you get that into place and you hold it, give it just a couple of seconds to adhere. And once it does, it is the super glue, so it won't go anywhere after that. But you do need to wait, because there are pieces like this is the tab. This tabby sits inside of something, so you cannot go over this. You have to make sure you stay away from that, else it will cause a problem for the next piece. So, all right, that's good. Same thing. It only takes a little bit of glue, and it leaks. So when you're putting it down, make sure you're putting it on a paper towel or something where it can leak and not cause an issue. Let me put that back together. All right. And again, ooh, these sit a certain way. They are cut. They have a purpose. They hold on to the basket, which I'm going to show you. They sit on the basket, and all the pieces create a very sturdy insert. So you want to make sure all of them are sitting just so. Otherwise it will create gaps and it won't look quite right. It's a little bit wet still, so I'm not going to mess with it, but we're going to move on because it takes time to get this built. Okay, so then there's behind pumpkins, and so with those pumpkins, you want to put the glue on this side and then sit the pumpkins on top. So I would highly recommend, let me see, I think this one also goes back there, or it goes all the way back there. Okay, so this goes in between these two, but we want to get some height on this. So we don't want it to go too far below the pumpkins, but we definitely need it to touch so that it will glue. So this right here, and then this right here. And that's going to make this pumpkin sit right behind it. You could do them all at once, but I try not to make too many mistakes when I'm doing these, so I want to go slower than usual so that I can make sure. Some of the score lines are going to show you where things go. Like there's one of these sit right here. You can see the score lines on there. It's telling you this sits here, put it here. And so just keep in mind there are different pieces. Like this one sits here. And then there's a leaf. Where is it? Oh, here. This leaf is supposed to sit here, but it's green. Oh, that's a lot of green on green on green. Again, planning is good if you think about it. But that's okay. I am not mad about that. And then, oh, there's this pine cone sits here. Now this is what's creating the, this creates the shelf that sits over the top, and like this one goes here. And this holds the basket on. So again, like there's a reason for why these pieces sit in certain areas. So this score line, make sure you're going to fill in this glue line with the score. I mean the score line with the glue. Oh boy. What time is it? Oh, it's not super late, but cold water is good. My nose is just filling up. Boy, I hope I didn't catch a cold or something. We'll see tomorrow how I wake up. Okay, and then over here goes another pine cone. Let's see here. This one sits in here. That one sits here. And again, there's a score line, so that one goes there. You can put things in certain areas, or you can move things around if you want to, but they do have a purpose. And when you see it all sit together, you'll understand better too. So let's get this one going over here. Just a little bit of glue goes a long way. I still have to do some details on the pumpkins, but now be careful when you get the glue on your fingers not to glue yourself to your project. That's always a good time. I always get glue on my hands. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Doesn't even matter if I'm not even doing a project and there's glue around, I will get glue on my fingers. It's just my fate, I guess. Okay. So this one and this one and this one. Okay. I would like to put the behind pumpkins on, but let me see what. I don't want to make that gap too big. Okay. So I'm just making sure to situate this correctly. Make sure that these pumpkins all have a really nice amount of touch, so that way it is definitely going to hold. It's a sturdy piece when everything's in the right spot and they can all hold on together. So Oh. If there's glue or paint on your fingers and you touch your project, 99% of the time it's going to come off onto your project. So, and it's hard to recreate some colors sometimes, so you don't want to do that too often. Because like I can't get this color to be the same again. So I want to make sure I do not get extra color on there. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. This is looking so cute. I'm excited. I wish I hadn't made this leaf green though. That is a lot of green. Okay, and then this beautiful leaf. Actually, I'm going to sit it in front because it is so cute. You should see it. So I'm going to sit it. I'm going to sit it right there. Okay. Executive decision made because I like it. Oh, I forgot I was going to put details on the pumpkin, so I'm going to do that now. Alright, so while all this is drying, you could put little tiny details on all your little pieces. So, stems, some light on them. Even the humps of the pumpkin, you could just literally draw on them. Oops, there's a pine cone not attached. Put that in the corner. Ta-da! All right. Don't forget, this is yours. So if you decide you want to do something different, totally do that. You don't have to do what I'm doing. It's just one idea of a million. I love the dots thing. I like to put dots on everything. I think it looks so cute. But the little lines, just something about them, just something exciting happens when you put those little dots on there and the little lines. It changes everything. It gives it a little more design flair. Oh. You might have just watched me come down with a cold. I don't know. We'll find out. I have a couple more days before I have to go to work, so we will see what it develops into. Okay, so here's the basket with the sunflowers, right? So we're going to pull that off. Sunflowers are way bigger than these pumpkins, but here we go. So here's the pumpkins, and we're going to sit them in the basket. La, la, la. And look how adorable. That's really cute. So the sunflowers are much bigger. I guess there's going to be different sizes for the inserts for the basket, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. It's adorable. When you don't have one thing in there, you know, you won't notice the difference until, oh, it'd be so cute if this had like a little saying on there too. Ideas. Alright, well anyway, here's the pumpkins in the basket. I wanted to give you the next insert so you can see what it looks like. And I'll just keep making them. Every month you'll get a new insert and you'll get to see what they look like and a little tutorial on how it's made. And I'd love to see what you're doing. I've seen a couple of the sunflower ones come back already, and I think, I don't know if I posted it on the main page, but I posted it on my personal page because they were so cute. So I was like, look. So please definitely share with me what you're making. I love to see them because hosting, like when I host in-person classes, it's really cool because I get to talk to you and I get to see what you're making. When I do these, it's just me, and a lot of times, well, there's usually an animal. So like right now I have one dog and a cat over there, and it's already gotten dark, but the goats were outside yelling just a little while ago. So hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, oh, don't forget to go to www.islandgirlcreativestudio.com, and that's where you'll find the links to buy the kits. You can also sign up for the subscription if you want to save money. It saves on shipping because I send out several of the kits at once. And then you can choose whether or not you want paint for the individual products. The kits will come with paint because it's a kit, so it comes with everything you need to create those projects. But if you want to buy the individual ones, you can do that too, and just have them. If you buy them all at the same time, the shipping is supposed to reflect that, which if it doesn't, I'll fix it. But if you set up for the subscription, not only do you include the shipping and the pricing, but you also get a discount on the whole thing as a whole. So it's pretty rad. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions, and pray that this isn't a cold. All right. Have a good night, you guys.